Chrisean Rock is a disgusting, trashy nobody, and she needs to be stopped, canceled, and shut down. She has no home training nor class, and it is a shame that people like her have been accepted in high places around prestigious legends in our culture. She has no talent, skill, or just simple dignity, and it is an embarrassment to black people everywhere. Like, what does she do other than fight, be disgusting, embarrass herself, and be ignorant? Like, she literally walks outside with a missing tooth purposefully, indulges in BS with her lame baby daddy Blueface, and speaks like a 12-year-old mid-pubertic chubby boy that has a hard time catching his breath when he walk up a flight of stairs with a sock stuck in his mouth. She acts a mess, she looks a mess, she is a total mess. And for her to be around legendary icons in our community like the Toni Braxton, it's just shameful. Recently at Toni Braxton's show, and if you live under a rock and don't know Toni Braxton, she's a phenomenally talented R&B vocalist with a pretty successful career and loyal fan base, and she is the younger sister of the smooth, sexy, sensual R&B icon, Miss Toni Braxton. At Tamar's Baltimore show, she invited Chrisean there, I guess because they are both from Baltimore, which is totally unnecessary. Like, she don't need to be there. Her being at this show was just disrespectful to Tamar's status and career alone. Like, why was she there? She's not even an artist, an entertainer. She is literally trash. But while Tamar was literally giving a phenomenal performance of her hit song, Love and War, in a classy, sexy black dress, here comes bottom of the barrel, Chrisean showing her behind on stage, literally while this woman was performing, interrupting her and just making a fool out of the both of them. Like, she obviously lacks common sense, but you don't interrupt somebody while they are performing. Like, why was her mic on? Why does she even have a mic? All of this is pissing me off, but then it gets worse. She starts causing trouble with Tamar's team and background singers because she was expecting to perform but didn't. First off, let me just say this. I don't know who told this 15-year-old sack of cow shit that she could ever even dream of her name, an artist, talent, art, respectable human being, or performer ever even being in the same sentence. Chrisean went into a studio, had her caretaker teach her how to somewhat read, then she defecated out the shitty words that she made up in her empty head onto the mic, causing the mic to smell rancidly as the studio engineer had to replace the mic because Chrisean is that disgusting. If you call that making music and being an artist, Chrisean, then hell is the coldest place on earth, and Donald Trump loves Mexicans because that is literal bullshit. For Chrisean to think that she could hardly pronounce her stupid nursery rhymes on the same stage as Tamar Braxton shows how empty-headed she is. Actually, I know the perfect place Chrisean could possibly, just possibly perform at.
It's at your uncle's barbecue, bitch.
That is where she belongs, and maybe not even her uncle's barbecue. She could probably perform when everyone is starting to leave and cleaning up at her uncle's barbecue, as no one listens as she raps to the dogs because they are the only beings with a brain that will possibly listen. But Chrisean took it further when she kept causing trouble about rightfully not making the crowd's ears bleed, as she thought she would perform. This obviously was irritating Tamar's team, and James Wright, who is a social media personality that went viral for his Patti LaBelle pie video, that went viral and helped the pie sell 2 million boxes in 2 days.
On my own. Why did it end this way? Patty! Whoa! Yeah! Bitch, I turned into Patty. You turned into Patty after eating.
And he is a very talented singer, as you see. And he is one of Tamar's background singers and best friend. Well, I don't know if they're best friends, but they're good friends. Whatever it is. So he actually has a real profession and skill, unlike Snaggletooth. Snaggletooth burst into their room complaining about her not performing while she was drunk, smelling like weed and trash and looking a mess with a bunch of other bums. And as James tried to defuse the situation and get it through her empty skull, that nobody tried to spoil her so-called performance, which I'm saying is impossible because she's already spoiled rotten trash. He just tried to let her know nicely that nobody knew she was supposed to be performing. And duh, she's a nobody with no talent. So how was they supposed to know? So then allegedly she proceeded to physically attack this man, bloodying his nose, chipping his tooth, and sending him to the hospital. And everybody on the internet know about it. And some people even trying to defend her. And it don't even make sense. This is literal animal bombastic, barbaric criminal behavior. She needs to go to jail. Like, you dirty bottom of the barrel piece of shit. Like, how dare you put your hands on this man? Like, are you insane? She obviously is. Then she went and just showed her behind more. Tamar, Snaggletooth, and the iconic, legendary Toni Braxton were taking the picture. And Snaggletooth proceeded to shake her funky ass in Toni Braxton's face. And I felt so sorry for the queen because she was in disbelief. And I just know her nose burned as the room got hot when Snaggletooth bent over. Toni is not just a queen. She's a talented vocalist. She's an icon and a legend. She is a woman with class, respect, elegance. She comes from the 90s, a time when people there's a little bit more decency when they got in front of the camera. If somebody like Snaggletooth did the things she did in the public back then, they'd be through immediately. She doesn't indulge in these trashy activities. And for Tamar to even let Chrisean share the same space with a woman like Toni, it's disrespectful. Like, are you serious? You are in front of Toni Braxton and you shake your ass. Like, where's the class? But I don't expect much from Snaggletooth. I just blame the people who are supposed to have common sense for allowing trash like her to be in our spaces. This dog needs to be detained because she's out of control. Like, where's her tetanus shot, her rabies shot? Where is her caregiver? This is what happens when we give everybody a platform and make anybody a quote-unquote influencer or think they're a celebrity. If anybody can come to the Met Gala, the BET Awards, Grammys, and Oscars, then all of these spaces will lose their respect and their prestige. And if you let trash like Snaggletooth around respectful icons like Toni, then what will we have? But this has been happening all around the industry. People like Suki Hana getting on all fours at the VMAs. Like, really, man, be serious. This is sick behavior. Do that at the strip club, but not the VMAs. And I love, man, I'm telling y'all, I love Sexy Red, but she is a part of this too. I really do believe some higher-ups are trying to make black women's image be worse and less respected than it already is. Because how are these women with absolutely no class being invited to these places and getting so much of an industry push? Like, they are being pushed everywhere in our faces. I can go on and on, but this has to stop. Dog shit like Snaggletooth should be canceled and shut down. She's a bad influence, a sorry excuse for a woman, and an embarrassment to the black community. I'm tired of the ratchetivity, and this bullshit has to stop. Yesterday.